guys, it's Ben from LHG again with another edition of Comedians Talking Classic Games, and today I'm very excited to be sitting down with not only one of the best comedians I know, also the man behind LH Gaming, the one and only Mr. Craig Shoemaker. How are you, sir?
Now, you know that a lot of people make jokes, are you wearing pants on these Zoom calls, right? So you have a wide enough shot, so I had to wear pants, but I am not wearing shoes.
No shoes, and you can see my bare legs here. Classic.
If you're looking for a segue, these feet one time played something called Pong.
Pong. Pong was the OG video game.
And I'm OG cranky, so that's perfect.
For the real nerds, Pong wasn't technically the first video game. It was a game that was built in the mid-'60s in MIT on an oscilloscope called, I believe, Space War. So it predated Pong, but Pong was the game that started it all.
I am glad I was here just to have that information.
Thank you.
Let's and cut. I'm done.
And we're done. Craig Shoemaker, ladies and
That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
I've gone deep into the history.
When it first came out, it's one of those. Where were you when? I remember who I was with. I remember the place I was.
Tell the story.
Cass Twyford. I was over there. I was a kid. Trying to be with girls. And her older brother had this thing that they hooked to their television set. And it was called Pong. And I'm going, well, what is it? What do you do? And the first time playing it, you had this little dial, boop, boop. It's kind of like tennis. And you catch on to it pretty easily. It's kind of like, the hockey. It's kind of like air hockey. And it was fascinating to me. But the best part about it was when you wanted to take a break, if I wanted to go, have the girls talk to me, you could actually have it play itself. You could just set it. You would set it so it would just go boop, boop, boop. And you could leave the room. You come back in, it's the same score. Hasn't moved. And it was, so that's how that was the pause.
I never even thought about that.
Yes, that was your pause.
That's
awesome. You
awesome.
just set it so that it would play itself. And so I know all about playing with myself. Yeah.
So that's I've never actually thought about that because there wasn't like a timer on the game.
No.
There was no clock. It just was bing bang.
Yeah.
So you could just have it play. You could just have it go boop boop for as long as you're.
I love that I'm giving you information. This is amazing.
This is great. No, that's why we do it.
Going back to the prehistoric age.
We want to learn everything that we can.
Well, when I was a kid, like this is like what'd that come out in like 81 or something like that?
Let's find out.
Maybe it came out earlier, but we were a little slow on the draw. I never had the game myself. I always, with most things in life, I would hang out with rich people, and the rich people would have the things that I wanted. And then there was also the arcades, and those are my old school games. I'll go 78, Pong.
Earlier.
No.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Keep going.
74?
Earlier.
No.
Yeah.
Well, why did it take so long?
November 29th, 1972.
Wow, you've got to be kidding me.
I think this must have been the release date for the arcade cabinet, and you must have seen it for the first time in someone's home.
In someone's home?
Yeah.
Oh, arcades are different than the home. First one at home, though, was Pong. But then the others, as far as I know, did not really follow suit. You didn't have Pac-Man at home unless you had a Pac-Man machine that was in the arcade.
Yeah,
Pac-Man was next, and Space Invaders.
Pong was really it was the first time people got a glimpse of how big a video game could be. And this was back in the 70s, before anyone knew what gaming would evolve into. Like what did you think the first time you saw a video game? It was
so shocking to me. It was like, being on the moon. I mean, there was no difference between taking a step on the moon and hooking up a controller because it just didn't make sense to me. It only was, the only way you played games was you had a load of quarters, and when I would run out, this is a confession now, we were very poor. When I was a kid, I thought the word evict meant move. I thought they were the same word. Look, Mom, here's the eviction truck. So this is the way the mentality was. Where am I going to get the money for these games? Well, I have a confession to make. Plymouth Meeting Mall. I apologize. I went into the fountain.
That's brilliant.
To get the quarters to play the game upstairs. But I figured I'm still keeping in the cycle. Yeah, exactly. It does. So the arcade got it. And by the way, what's going to happen with the quarters? Are people really going to? Am I going to take their wish away?
Oh, I mean, you're playing someone's wishes.
That's true. Maybe that's why I stayed poor. I was playing someone else's wishes, but that's how I got my money. Was I roll up my pants, or if I had shorts on, take my shoes off and go waiting. And I would have to go through the actual coins though. I go nickel, and just throw it back. They'll keep their wish, but
how did you manage to do that in the bright light of a mall and not get popped?
Bro, when you're a criminal background like me, these are things that are very easy. You got a wingman, you got a lookout, it's a whole system. You split the quarters at the end. I took most of them. Listen, you don't even have any idea. Like back when I was starting even comedy, one of my dares, we went through a mall on dares. My dare was swim naked across, and they, of course, John Mulrooney and Ben Creed and Jeff Garland stole my pants, and I had to run in the mall after them nude, and they had their own dares to do. But these are the things that we did in stand-up comedy when just like gaming was beginning, we were beginning. Like kind of this, what everybody's relying on now in stand-up comedy, we kind of blazed the trail. And the same with gaming is there we were with these joysticks. It's as elaborate as it got, when a controller came out. Yeah. I have to tell you, that was when... Even
the first NES controller with its 2 buttons and a thumb pad?
The thumb, that's about my limit. You know what I mean? Thank God they weaned us into it. Yeah. Starting with a joystick. I think that's the first. Oh, no, starting with 2 buttons, then a joystick, and then you went to, the elaborate... 4-piece controller with 4 different operations on it. Oh, yeah. But then now my kids destroy me. It's it's humiliating. You're supposed to be better than your kids at things. I
don't think anyone thinks you're supposed to be better than your kid at Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone expects that.
Well, I do. When you're a dad, you just want to be. You want to be like I grew up watching Field of Dreams. Right. That was another thing when I was a kid. Field of Dreams made me cry because he had 1 catch with his dad. And there's that seminal moment in the movie. Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch? I'm bawling my eyes out. My kids someday, they're going to go, hey, Dad.
Remember that time I kicked your ass in Fortnite? I sure do, son. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
I can't build in Fortnite. I'm terrible. I'm not an architect. You have to be an architect along with a great at the controller.
Well, speaking of Field of Dreams and If You Build It, They Will Come, let's talk about you having built LHG and all the new viewers that are going to come. Yeah, we're coming to you live from the LHG studio that Craig built. He had a man. He's a man he's Tucker, a man with a dream.
Yeah, I always have been one of those guys.
Very much so.
Ever since I was a kid, and I used to convert cesspools to sewers. I was a genius.
Really? Would you get the quarters at the bottom of the cesspools?
No. There's no cesspool. There's no cesspool quarters. But I've done so many things through my life, but now I work more with inspiration. I think I got it from my father. Left when I was born. Something I said. He was gone. And he would come back with all these ideas. Really? He was an entrepreneur, which is a French word for scam artist. So he'd have all these. So now I become him, even though I never lived with him. He became a cult leader. I never joined the cult. But anyway, you didn't know that?
No.
You just gave that, flash alert.
Whoa, that's awesome.
My dad, harem, he called it his harem of women, like 14 women at one time, running mule rides to feed the cult. But that's a whole other show, folks.
That is definitely a whole other show.
I don't know if gamers are, hey, look, it's close to Donkey Kong. He's got mules. He had Mule Kong before Donkey Kong.
Your princess is in another father.
And by the way, I have another sister that I found. Anyway,
that's incredible.
It is. It's a crazy story with my dad, but I guess I must have picked up for him. One thing about comics, and I know you know this. Actually, why I made the call to you to help. With us. Now you're a part of this system as well, and you're a part owner. Is we have to think outside of the box, especially these days with no stand-up stages. But really, we have to. Period. When you're writing and creating material. It doesn't always have to manifest itself in a joke. It could manifest itself in an idea, an inspiration, and something that you carry through, transformative plans and whatever it is. We're supposed to be better on this planet. We're not just about bringing jokes. We're not joke slingers. So I went to E3, and quite frankly, was not my jam, but I went with my son, 15 years old, and it is. He literally, we have even lost connection with one another over games. So I'm a solution guy, and this literally was a solution to be in the gaming business with my son, who quite frankly has, you know, a little bit of stress and depression and so forth. And I already have Laughter Heals. I've had that organization for years. It's a, you know, it's about the healing powers of laughter. We all know what it does to you, but we kind of like dismiss it. Oh, laughter's the best medicine. Well, it is. So why not build a pharmacy for people? And that's what we did here. We built a pharmacy for people to get their laughs while they're gaming. It helps people. A lot of people in the gaming business are bullied and stressed and depressed. And we're offering an alternative to the toxic environment. I didn't tell you this, Ben, but one of our recruits here that works with us, Ethan, I went over and found him at Mamba Academy. That's a big gaming area. And the reason he came here, he goes, wow. He says, this is great what you're doing, because this is a really negative, dark environment. He goes, I watch people fighting here. And he came on board here, and he works with us now because he just wanted to be part of that energy. So he brings all of his game passion and all his technology acumen, and he brought it here. So now he too is enjoying the laughs that we're creating here with LH Gaming. So I really hope that people, you know, get on board with that mission. Let's have a mission together to come together with laughter and with joy, and which, you know, the dark is already out there. You know, the attacks are already out there. The attacks are in the games, for God's sake. right?
Yeah.
You know, you're doing enough attacking, so why not laugh about it, make fun of each other, not in a harmful way, but let's have some fun. You know, we should be.
And that is why we are doing what we are doing right here on LH Gaming, LHG, Laughter Heals Gaming, the very first comedian-born gaming channel where you get your gaming, you get your laughs from the people that make you laugh when you're not playing the games. And that's honestly what made me so excited about coming on board and being a part of this was, you know, what do you think of when you think comedians and video games? You don't think of that, so we're on the long-haul mission to make LHG the name in comedian-based gaming content. Content that's going to make you smile, it's going to make you laugh, it's going to remind you that video games are fun, and they're fun for everyone. And it's our mission to keep you laughing and keep you playing those games, because we got a lot to say about both of those. So I can't thank you enough for having me as part of the team, and of course being on this episode of Comedians Talking Classic Games, Pong Edition, in which we also learned quite a bit, in addition to his love of Pong, about Craig over here. Any final words for your people and your beautiful feet?
Well, I want them to know that we have a lot of gaming events coming up, and where, you know, once the clubs open up, we're tied with Levity. The Levity clubs and improv clubs will be all over the country bringing gaming to you, which is awesome. And I'm finding a lot of stand-ups love gaming anyway.
Love gaming.
So, as a matter of fact, Ryan Niemiller is in the other room right now, and one of my favorite comics.
Next episode.
Next episode?
He's going to be the next episode.
Okay. Well, you could just kick it over to there. Anyway, thanks, bro. You're the best.
All right, guys. We will see you in the next edition of Comedians Talking Classic Games with, of course, the one and only Ryan Niemiller. Until then, as always, please like and subscribe. We're a new channel, and your support really helps. And until the next video, I'm Ben from LHG. This is Craig.
Craig Shoemaker. I don't know which camera to look in or which place to look.
There's only one.
Well,
camera.
not that. I was looking at myself in the monitor. Now I realize
look like
we have to do the whole thing over because
and restart. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.